Hi, Jude Brace here with UAM Football. We're here with Coach Jackson as we are every week. Coach, what's the biggest takeaway from last week's win?
That our guys, battled to the end. I mean, it was one of those games where Oklahoma Baptist, was doing some things offensively. The quarterback had a tremendous game. Receivers just played very well, and I thought that our defense had a couple of stops that were really, really big, and I think offensively, we were able to do some things. Cole played very well, and obviously a couple other guys played very well. But I think that, just overcoming some of the different situations that occurred during the game. Obviously, when we got that pick six with Jamel London, that was huge. We had a chance to go up 21-0. We thought we had caused a fumble and recovered there in the end zone, and after that point, that's when Oklahoma Baptist started to pull back closer and made it into a football game. So, but I thought that our guys just kept pushing, because Jude, probably in last few years, maybe 3 years ago, that I don't know if we'd have fought through that. I think we'd have maybe panicked and things would have went the other direction. So I was very, very proud of our team, how we handled it and how we finished it up.
So it was a big game and a big win this week. A big game for a much different reason. We're playing Oachita Baptist, number 4 team in the nation.
Yep.
What is the message to the guys, going into a game against such a highly touted opponent?
Well, I think you got to use the word challenge. I think it's a tremendous challenge. This team, Oachita Baptist, hey, they're 8-0, number 4 in the country. They're coming to our place. Got a lot of respect for their program. Our guys, they don't fear anybody. We'll respect the people we play, but we're not going to fear anybody. And so I think our guys feel like that it's going to be a huge challenge, and it's one of those that can be huge for your program if you're able to come out on the winning side. So I think this week we had a really productive practice, and I think that some of the guys that we've had beat up a little bit are getting a little more healthy, and that's important for us. So. I think it's just going to be one of those games that the outcome could do a lot of positives for us if we're able to walk away with a win.
Well, speaking of challenges, you touched on a little bit, but what are some of those on-field challenges that Oachita presents?
A lot. I mean, by far, I think they've got the best offensive line and defensive line in the conference. I think they're very, very big, physical. And I think they cause a lot of problems, and I think that's the key to their success. And I think they probably would agree with that too. But that's the biggest challenge. But again, I think it's one of those deals that if we can minimize mistakes, first off, if we can do that, that's going to give us an opportunity to be able to compete and challenge them. But if we make some mistakes because their D-line and O-line are so good, they can make you really pay for it. And so we're going to have to play really smart, play technique sound, and not give them any opportunities to pull away from us. So, and I think that's going to be the key. But they have a lot going for them, but their O-line, D-line is pretty special.
So you spoke on their strength. What are some of our advantages going into this game that you see?
Well, I mean, we've won 3 in a row, and that's always big, and 2 of those being on the road, that's huge for our program. But and I think our guys are playing with a little bit of confidence, and we need that. And they feel like that all the things that the coaches have been preaching, it's working, and I think that helps you. I don't think if we were in a 3-game losing streak going into this game, getting guys ready to practice and prepare for this game would be really tough. And the fact that our practices have been very good, productive, and efficient, I think that's a great sign for our team. So there's no guarantees from that, but it also, but on the other hand, it is big that our guys are playing good football right now, and we've been in some different situations too, Jude. We've been where things have gotten close. We've expanded leads, and we've been able to in all 3 of those games finish. And I think that's going to be key for us. That we have to play for 60 minutes, 4 quarters of getting after it, and and hopefully at the end of the day, it'll be a great outcome for us.
Well, it stands to be probably, or hopefully, a very memorable game.
Yeah.
You know, touching on that, what are some of your favorite memories from either playing or coaching? Are there any that stand out?
You know, when I was a freshman, I got my first start against Lamar University when I was at McNeese, and had a really good game. Me and my roommate Jeff DeLone connected on a couple touchdowns and ran for one, and we ended up blocking a field goal at the end of the game and scoring to win the game on the last play. I'll never forget. It was a senior that blocked it, scooped it, and scored, and it was probably the coolest feeling that I had as a player. So that was one you don't forget too often, because there was so many people involved, and it wasn't just about me, but our team, and it was pretty cool. And you know, as a coach, playing in the state championship in high school in the Superdome when I was at Central Catholic in Morgan City was a big highlight in my life. Because, you know, Superdome's a Superdome, man. So when you walk in it, you sort of felt like Bad News Bears breaking training when they walked into the Astrodome and they were spinning around looking. But it was that was a pretty cool experience too. So I've been fortunate to be in a few things, and as a player and as a coach and as a son of a coach. I've been blessed in that regard, and have had a lot of people in my life that's been able to enjoy those things too. So I'm very, very grateful of what I do for a living, and very grateful to be able to work with some great coaches and to be around some great players, and even guys that handle all of our videos for football, like you.
Thank you. Well, we thank you for coming on, Coach, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks, brother.
Now we welcome on sophomore offensive tackle Jaden Salley. Jaden, how are you?
How you doing?
You know, what's been your biggest improvement this season? Last year, obviously, you got to play a little bit as a freshman, but now you're the full-time starter. You know, what have you been working on through this season?
Well, after watching a lot of film for myself last year, I say my biggest thing this year is slowing everything down. I told myself when fall camp started, you have to slow everything down and be more consistent. So my biggest things this year was doing everything I can to be consistent and not making any excuses, just getting the job done.
Okay. Most people on the team already know this. You know, you're not the heaviest guy on the offensive line. So how do you overcome that lack of, you know, size?
Well, I've been one of the smallest offensive linemen for about 4 or 5 years, including high school. So my biggest thing was, okay, you're faster than everyone, use your speed, you got a little strength. You might be small, but you can move around, and you got a little strength in your body. So my thing is move fast and be quick with my hands, I guess. I'm going to say that.
Well, I'll say from observing, you know, your aggression and then your motor is definitely the biggest things that stood out even when you came in as a freshman.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, you know, how are you preparing for this week's matchup against the number 4 team in the country?
Well, after watching some film on them, my biggest thing is no hesitation. When you come out the ball, hands got to come immediately, because the defensive ends do move around and they don't stop moving. So my biggest thing is to keep on moving, keep pushing, even though I think I got them in my hands or I think I got them blocked. I got to keep my feet moving. I got to keep them going, because when I think I got them, I don't have them. Mm-hmm. So my biggest thing is keep pushing even when you think you got them.
Yeah, I mean, they're a very highly touted defensive line. Mm-hmm. You know, so that might lead into the next question, which, you know, is what is the biggest challenge about playing Oachita?
You can't have a lot of mistakes. You gotta be consistent in everything you do. I know adversity gonna come. I know there's gonna be times where we losing our minds, but next play. Mm-hmm. But not just next play and we mess up. We gotta be the next play, something positive out of it. Whether it's 2 yards, whether it's 3 yards, we just gotta be consistent with ourselves. We just gotta trust ourselves and trust what we're doing.
It's, you know, something that Coach Jackson already touched on was the strength of their defense, their defensive line.
Yeah.
And, you know, you gotta have, as I had told Coach Jackson earlier, you got to have belief. Every play, believe this is the one that scores. This is the one. You know, you got to do your job like you're ready to score.
Yeah.
Our non-football related question is, if you had 3 people who are non-family members that you had to invite to a desert island with you, what 3 are you taking?
It'll probably be The Rock. What's the guy name from The Transporter?
Oh,
He's Frank in every movie.
Jason Statham?
Him. It'll be him, and I'll probably say Dustin Tim.
Oh, they keep you laughing.
Yeah, he can keep me laughing.
All right, well, that's all the questions we got. Thank you for coming on. Now we welcome on sophomore defensive tackle Easton Siedl. Easton, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. So this season, in the middle of the season, you suffered a calf injury. What exactly happened, and how have you been able to overcome that?
Well, it was like a partial tear in my lower calf, and really the coaches helped me out a lot. They were really concerned and got me over to see Dr. Fakuri, and he got me in therapy with Nat. And shout out to Nat and LR over there because they were making me work and got me back to feeling 100% 2 weeks.
Really? Did they use the BFR?
Yeah, the BFR a lot every day.
That stuff's painful.
Oh yeah.
So is there anything that you really focused on getting back to? You said you feel 100%. Is it just you're ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready, 100% ready to go.
All right.
Get back on the field.
Well, that's good news. So, last season you played a decent amount as a freshman. This year, what's been your biggest improvement from last season?
Well, last season I came in not really knowing how to play D-line that well. I played running back in high school, so the coaches really helped me with my technique, and I have a motor, and I'm aggressive, so I can come off the ball real good. And really, I fell in love with D-line because I love it, and it's probably my best position that I've ever been a part of.
So really focusing on the fundamentals, the technique of being a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I
Oh,
promise
yeah.
you that.
Especially beating an offensive lineman and you beat them. It's always cool.
So wait, tell me more about you being a running back in high school.
Yeah, I was a running back for Cabot, dead T, kind of triple option kind of stuff. I was fullback. It was pretty fun, just running people over all the day time.
Now, how are you preparing for Oachita as the number 4 team in the country? What's something that you've been particularly focusing on?
The way I look at it is they're the number 4 team in the country, and it's just another team coming to Weevil Stadium. Yeah, they're good. They're 8-0, but they're beatable for sure. And we've been on a roll, and as long as we play the way we're capable of playing, I don't think we're going to have any problems.
It's taking it just like another game. It's nothing different?
Nothing different.
That's good to hear. I think it takes a lot of belief, and I think if you build some team up to be bigger than maybe they are, you end up psyching people out.
Yeah.
So, focusing on Oachita, what's the biggest challenge that their offense presents?
They like to control the ball and control the ball game. They like to run the ball. They don't tempo. They run the ball a lot. I think 74% of their offensive plays this year has been a run play, something like that. And they like to huddle up and just pound it in your face. And they got a good offensive line. They got a good running back. They got a good running quarterback. And that's pretty much what they like to do.
So, there's probably a reason why their running back is the all-time GAC rushing leader.
Yeah.
Our 5th and final question, one that's not quite focused on football, is if you had to take 3 non-family members with you to a desert island, which 3 are you taking?
I'm probably going to have to go with the GOAT, Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints. And I'm probably going to have to go with, honestly, probably Alvin Kamara and Cameron Jordan. I'm a big Saints fan.
All 3 Saints?
Yeah, I'm a huge Saints fan.
Try to play 2-on-2, silent, the fast time. All right, well, that's all the questions we got. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jude.